This is the Silver Spurs by Thorn Soundlab. If you think you've seen every distortion pedal, I don't think you've seen one with this level of control. It's not just a distortion pedal, basically a high gain preamp inside a pedal. Let me show you why. Distortion pedals usually have like 3 dials. They have drive, level and tone pretty much. This one's got like 8. We know what gain does, we know what level does. But what about damping and headroom? Let me start with damping. I know it sounds complicated, but damping is like basically the low end control of your pedal. So, for example, damping is currently on halfway. If I turn it up more, it kind of like chokes down the low end. If I turn it down, it gives you more low end. So if you want a kind of tight, thrashy, progressive sound, you might want to turn it up a bit more. If you want kind of a more doomy, flubby, sludgy sound, you turn it down. If you turn it off all the way, you get this amount of low. If you turn it up all the way, you get this amount. I think that's way too choked off. It's a bit overkill, but you get the idea. So if I have it on low, way too much flub, all the way on high, not enough flub, in the middle, perfect amount of flub. But basically I'm illustrating the fact that you can have so much tonal choice with this just one dial, not even the whole pedal. That was damping. And then we've got headroom. Headroom is quite literally how much ceiling there is. So if we put headroom on 0, that means we're basically in the smallest room. My head literally touches the ceiling. If we put headroom on full, we're in a bigger room, like this, where I've got like 6 feet of headroom. The best way to explain it is if I turn my volume knob down on my guitar, down to like 1 or something, with headroom on full, you can still hear it. If I turn it all the way down to 0, you can barely hear it at all. If I turn the pedal off, and this is just the amp, it's basically non-existent. I don't think there's any sound coming out. So if I turn it back on, turn it all the way up again, you can hear it. So if I turn the guitar back up, the volume, that shows you how much headroom you've got. So again, you can go all the way to full, all the way down to 0. But I probably will have it somewhere in the middle, just past 12 o'clock. I think it makes the pedal more bloomy. It blossoms a bit more. So with damping on halfway and headroom just over halfway, you get this sound. I really like having the inclusion of these two. It gives it so much more tonal versatility. I'm used to always playing with tube screamers and they don't really have that kind of sound, whereas this is more like I said, like a preamp in a box. It's like an amp in a box. I love having more headroom because being able to turn that up, my own personal taste, is great. And damping is good because I do like to have tight thrash metal riffs, but sometimes too much tightness is almost like having a heavy gate on it, and I don't really like that. So I really like having those in this pedal built in. And another great feature this pedal has is the inbuilt EQ here. We've got bass, middle, treble, and presence. I mean, that gives you so much tonal shaping because my amp already has those, but actually this amp is a 2-channel amp, but only a 1 EQ. So actually, if I want to change the EQ, I have to manually do that. Technically with this, I could have this set completely differently to how I have this set. So when I do switch channels, I'm getting a different EQ coming off this as I have on there. So the beauty of it is you could have mids up high on your amp, but on the pedal you can turn them all down. So you could have some sort of scooped mids feature, some sort of naughty metalcore, or even back in the day, Metallica are pretty much known for full bass, full treble, no mids. If you turn the damping down, turn the headroom up a bit, look at that. And that's just all going through this pedal. The gain and stuff you can set to your own preference. You don't really need too much gain on this, but the volume as well. There you go, look at that, that was easy. Pretty much got Metallica tone straight away, but I actually like mids now. I'm a bit of a fan of them, so I'll probably turn them back up a bit. If you want that kind of Pantera sound, you could turn the treble and the presence up as well. But that is way too woofy, so maybe I'll turn the headroom down a little bit. Maybe the bass down a bit too high there. Yeah, I love that. I love that I can just pretty much play around with this and get different EQs out of it. I quite like turning the treble up higher and turn the presence down a bit. But if I turn the presence up as well, it just gets a bit brighter. So without the pedal on, just pretty much a clean tone. So all of that tone coming through this one pedal. That blows me away because, as you heard then, that clean channel through this amp isn't really doing much at all. All the tone we're getting is coming from this. Yeah, that was the Silver Spurs by Thorn Soundlabs. I love these pedals. I've had the Bad Cash in here before as well, and I really liked that pedal too. I really like the addition of the damping in the headroom, because I think it just gives so much more versatility. As you heard, the 5150 on the clean channel wasn't really doing that much at all. The pedal was doing all of that. It is kind of like a little amp in a box. I'm pretty sure this is just a distortion pedal. It's not a preamp pedal, but it basically could be, because it is just an amp in a box. And I really liked it. I didn't think I was going to be able to get the tones I wanted out of it, and I actually think it was quite easy to do that. And like I said, my favorite thing, damping, headroom, and then being able to play with all of this as well as the EQ, because on the amp I've only got one EQ, so being able to have another one makes it so much more easy to play around with. I actually am surprised as well I didn't need a noise gate, because I thought putting all this extra gain into this amp would kind of push it past high-pitched territory, but I guess because I'm going through a clean channel which is on a lower volume, it doesn't really need it. I didn't need an extra boost from a tube screamer or anything. This one had enough distortion in it that kind of filled my boots. And I love the tones I was getting out of it. I'm actually really surprised how much I liked it. And if you liked it also and you want to find out more about that pedal, check out the link in the description below.